Hello there. We're about to check whether am I ready to talk to you. Sorry for being angry in my last video. For the last 10 months, I was sending my book about Eastern thought to various publishing systems, and them all refused me, seeming though they have their own already designated individuals to fill inside the shelters of bookstores. But however, my decision was made, and my decision is made. I will stand. I will stay still. It matters not if them all refuse me. It matters not if I failed to be what they desired me to be. What matters? I am what I truly am. I am the decision of mine. Sorry for the noise of this place, but this place is inside the land that I am going to convey it to you. I am going to salam from here to you. That's why I am not about to use microphone or sealed myself inside a room. However, it may reduce the quality of my videos, but it matters not. Because you have to hear the place, not seemingly one single sound, whether it will be the sound of mine. Through the translation of Eastern thought from the writer Muhammad Ja'far Musaffa, circling around Mawlavi, from the book Ba Pir Balkh, a city where Mawlavi came from, an Iranian beloved poetry writer, Mawlavi. While translating the phenomenon of Muhammad Ja'far Musaffa, I felt with clarity that how we are deceived, played by the very game of our own mind. And that's why I am insisting on it. I am here to insist on conveying the message of Eastern thought to you. By the very game of our own mind, by its distortion, by its mismanifestation and its manipulation, the play of our own mind. First of all, after coming with the preface of mine, but there will be lots of prefaces again, this book cannot be confined by any. This book cannot be confined by any pre-established frameworks. We will come with it. Whether wondered, stay right here. It was always under the shadow of policy makers and governance. We established them ourselves. By the deceit played game of our own mind. Here's the reason I insist on the phenomenon of illusory self. In Eastern thought, it is nafs, illusory self. There will be a lot to say. We will come through them. Inevitable governance. We established them as if they were necessary, as if they were inevitable. And then, beneath the shadow of the very same establishment, what we made our own selves. We are driven into repetition, corrupted cycle of repetition, corrupted endless cycle, again and again into madness. The rhetoric of governance and management did nothing but crush us. At all, did nothing but crush us. Yet under the same shadow, we are deceived into feeling in power by the very game of our own mind. We will come through this core phenomenon, the phenomenon which I find it critically important to be conveyed to save my soul. Yet it is precisely through this illusion of power that we feel the strength of the illusory phenomenon of governance, management, and those systemized, systemic systems, those published publications, those publications which are already published within the production of papers. This is us who are refueling this illusory phenomenon of power. And the fabricated necessary beyond them, again made by us, the fabricated necessity beyond them. Through the manipulation of naming this region, the region I am saying hello to you, middle of nowhere, an unknown east, the land of mine. Never call it Middleast. By whether those within and those who imposed it from the outside, we empowered a construct that again we ourselves helped sustain it. With media and propaganda, the people of this land were reduced to some creatures who are caricature, we say caricature, those who are in a constant need, who cannot reach to their fullness, who are miserable. They curved our faces. With media and propaganda, again, we ourselves sustain it. How they showed us to you, stripped of their fullness, of their truth, being stripped away from their true being, what they manipulated us to you. And the unknown soul still dusting beneath the system of dusting, and after again those systemized dusting again, once again. And by this very act we erased our own sources, our own technologies, and our own true path toward success. True success, not the manipulation of progress, achievement. We erased ourselves. Cutting off the very opportunities that might have led us to real advancement. In doing so, we did not only limit ourselves, but we limited what belongs to all of us, to all the people, all around the world, no matter where they stand. And this is how they imposed upon us the wish for migration. The wish to migrate over the sea then came out from the others. The will to become something in the eyes of the West, until the people of this land, carrying that enforced desire to be what they could not find in their own land, they kept streaming toward the West. And And then West still stays the West, advanced, and we still carrying the wish for becoming something, and send our true tools for progress toward over there. And this very forsakenness and desolation grew, so desperate it could not even name itself, fed by the very hands of the others who initially imposed the name of it, name of our land, middle of nowhere, an unknown east. In the same flow, environmental livelihood and the real welfare issues had turned to the subject for academic identities, those individuals who in turn are fueled by this very same imposed wish to migrate by us, fueled by the very migrants seeking their own sense of being somewhere else, seeking their own sense of identity somewhere else. In my adolescence, when I was a child, around 60, the wish, the desire to become a doctor was injected to me and my all peers. It was always unclear for me that where exactly this wish came from, the wish to study for medicine, where it came from, it always remained unclear for me. But now, in the same stream, me and my peers are chasing careers as hospital staffs abroad, for studying at Western universities to become something abroad, perhaps in vain, to cover the deep-seated forsakenness and the identity void imposed on this so-called Middleast. Once again, Middleast. Yet the truth remained. Black hair or not, the screams of centuries and the flames of generations burn in our stormed eyes. People from the east, an unknown east, the land of nowhere, yearning to scream of every moment of blame. For too long, for many too long, Western's reasoning filled Iranian bookstores, devoured by the very so-called enlightened individuals in this very same land. While Musaffa's book, Musaffa, Mawlavi, and Easterns lay forgotten in those shelters of books by our own hands, gathered dust in silence, and the soil of Yana, the grief-stricken land darker further. The land Yana grew even deeper. And the people of the soil searched in the hands of the others for the blazing cries of their eyes to find some identity forged by the others. For many long years, the rulers of this land, the rulers rulers of this land. Adult creatures, not dictators, sought answers in the hands of the others. Meanwhile, the West imposed its academic manuals, classifications, and meaning upon this land, at the same time exporting the very human force, the true engine for progress, out of this land. This soil was sinking, and with it, the world was being swallowed. Perhaps we are too late to understand. The salvation was not in more publishing, was not in further progress models, was never in more blueprints of fairness. It was about saving the soul. Very pure, but never simple. And far away at the seemingly firstborn sat back in confront, watching the colonization and the chains of tyranny in this soil. They were watching us. They were watching our colonization. This ancient homeland, heavy with sorrow and despair,